Well, hello there. How is everyone? I hope you are all well. This is video 2 of 2. That's right, baby. It's video 2 of 2. And you're looking amazing, by the way. You must be having a very good day. Is my day going well? Better than bloody yesterday. And we've got some meat and potatoes to chomp ourselves into. So let's get on with it. Now, my inbox, my email inbox has been blowing up, because there seems to be some reinvigoration into this targeted situation. Another channel has come out and they've said that Xana was the target. She was the target. So I just want to touch on this subject. This ain't a new subject, but I still feel that people are perhaps struggling with this targeted situation and what that truly means. So I think it's something that we can do together and try and perhaps together get a better grasp on the complexities and the way in which this crime happened, and dependent on who was the target, how it could have possibly gone and perhaps not gone, and what they mean. So let's start at the top and work our way down, much like it would assume is what the killer did. So we have upstairs Maddie and Kaylee. And many people think that Maddie is the target. Now, the targeted situation, this being targeted, was initially spurned by Moscow PD, by saying that this was isolated and targeted. That's what they believed. Now, you have to go down and ask two questions. Why did Moscow PD say that? Now, did they say it purely to try and settle people, to settle the situation? And the best way to do that is to say, look, there's no danger, there's nothing to see here, you've got nothing to worry about, this is all under control. The person came in, they had a specific target, and that's now done. And because this situation is now over, you can go back to being as normal as possible, which has always been the mentality of this area. This is done with. You have nothing to worry about now. Now, we do know that there was a slight shift because they perhaps didn't understand that when you turn around and say something's targeted, people are going to say, what was that then? Who was the target then? Was it the house? Was it the person? Was it the individual? If it was a certain individual, why was that individual the target? And what happened? And that opened up Pandora's box. And sadly, it was a Pandora's box that still to this day remains open, because people still have this, was there a specific target? Was there one person who was a target, and was the rest just collateral damage? In order to answer that, and in order to answer how these things went, we have problems, because we have, amongst what happened, we have two surviving housemates. I know one don't get spoken about much. Bethany Funk doesn't get a lot of attention. She doesn't get the light shone on her. Mainly because it seems that she was tucked away on the bottom floor. Seems to be a lot of confusion. People still, I think it would be safe to say that genuinely we don't know who was in this house that night. We don't know 100%. We know what we're told, we know what we think, but we don't know 100%. We just don't. That's just a fact. But we're going with that Bethany Funk was on the bottom floor, and then this crime took place on the floors above her. Maybe the fact that she was tucked away down there just protected her from the whole lot. It just went on above her head, and that was the sanctuary of being down there. And I'm going to leave that there. We'll leave a pin in it for another day. So then you've got the upper floors, and you've got Dylan Mortensen, who has had a lot of darkness thrown on her, a lot of shade. And there is a reason for there being a lot of shade. Now, obviously, the 8-hour time delay, which we're not going to go into on this video, we're going to just say, look, the fact that she was there, and by what we've been told, not only was she there, but she was awake. She was awake. She was compos mentis to some degree, anyway, to the point where she is going to be a material witness for the prosecution. She saw someone. She was able to give a description of what she saw and what she heard. So she was awake. I think it's safe to say she was awake. So the person goes upstairs. And you think, so if that's targeted, that would explain one thing. That explains why this person enters into this house and ignores specific doors. They go straight in and they seemingly head straight upstairs. So that to me shows, yes, target. It shows target, it shows foresight, it shows premeditation, and it potentially shows knowledge of the property itself because they knew where to go. Now, there are some questions in the background because you think to yourself, well, there's still cars outside that are unfamiliar. There's still a lot of cars. So this person felt that they had the confidence to enter into this property in that situation at that time. Now, is it because they purely thought that everyone would be asleep? But then you've got this niggling thing in the background of a DoorDash driver, a DoorDash delivery, someone ordering food. You've got this very strange scenario, and I think to myself, did they order it? We don't know. We're not 100% sure who ordered that food and when it was ordered. We just have been told that there's food being ordered. Anyway, I digress. So then we've got this attack, and that seemingly makes sense. So someone enters in, they come in, and they do this crime upstairs. We know it would seem that during this attack, Dylan Mortensen is shouting for people to shut up, and we only can consider that it's upstairs that she's hearing because she specifically mentions the dog. So that to me, the mention of the dog, to me means that the sound is coming from above her. The sound is coming above, so she feels that is, Kaylee and Maddie upstairs, and she's shouting up to Kaylee and Maddie. Now, one thing I will say is I feel that is a little bit, bearing in mind that these are supposed to be friends. They're supposed to be friends, and you can see in a lot of the videos the love between them. They're a really tight-knit group from what you can see. So tight, in fact, that when they've been out on the bears together and they've gone home, one of them is shouting to the others to shut the fuck up because they're making noise. And I think to myself, okay, if they're making that much noise that their friend on this, Saturday night, late Saturday night, early Sunday morning, is having to shout, shut the fuck up, that's not a true friend. There's something that's gone on here. All that noise is just so loud, and there is such commotion that they've just got. Are they taking a piss? Are they actually taking a piss? And this has built up and burst a little bit. Do you know what I mean? There's a degree of frustration. It's not. This has gone on for a prolonged period of time to the point where she's heard a noise. Because you're not going to hear a noise and immediately jump on it. Hear a noise, it gets a bit, it gets a bit worse, and you go out of your room, listen, and you can still hear it. I question how long that noise situation went on for until she snapped. Because we're supposed to believe that there was such a small, tight-knit period of time that this entire thing happened. That is from entering to being seen driving away approximately 8 minutes. But this period where Dylan Mortensen is coming out of a room, going back in a room, coming out of a room, going back in a room, getting frustrated to the point she's burst. She's shut the fuck up. I'm trying to sleep. Do you know what I mean? That to me isn't happening in a minute. Potentially not even happening in 2 minutes. And we've heard about the brutality of what happened in that room. Anyway, that then leads me to, so that makes sense. But this person has done this. They've heard somebody shouting. They've come back downstairs and they've walked past that door again. They've literally walked past the door again, and they've gone. They've made a route to another person's door, which happens to be Xana's room, where Xana and Ethan are. And I think to myself, that at that point, that person had a decision. Now, Steve Gonsalves turned around and said they didn't have to go upstairs. Now, I put it to you, they didn't have to go anywhere except out of that house. If that was targeted upstairs, why didn't that person, and I mean just targeted upstairs, why didn't that person come down the stairs and go straight away? to leave. They knew someone else was in that house. They obviously had no intention of doing anything to that person, or when they'd gone to the second room, they would have then gone to other doors in that house. But they didn't. It was after that that they then leave and was apparently seen leaving. But to me, if you want to go down the route of this was targeted, specifically targeted, then I say to you that there were multiple targets in that house, and there were multiple targets over 2 floors. And the person who did this knew specifically where their targets were. So I'm not buying it that there was one specific target in that house. I don't buy it. It doesn't sit right with me. I don't feel that this crime went that way. I don't feel that there is enough evidence in what we have seen to say that there was one target and they were upstairs. So if it was upstairs, why didn't he come down again, just leave? And if it was downstairs and we're saying he went there first, do you know what I mean? I can't buy that. And I hope that I've managed to explain why and the things that I struggle with it. And I want you to tell me down below, do you feel that this was specifically targeted? And if I see one more person say that we know Madison was the target, because I even saw it on this channel that brought this video out, someone saying, but the FBI have confirmed that Brian Koberger was stalking Madison Mogen on Snapchat or Instagram. There has been nada proof or evidence brought forward that confirms that Brian Koberger was communicating with any of these victims on social media. Now, there has been mention of accounts under Brian Koberger's name speaking to these females. It has indeed. But we don't know if that was a genuine account or not. We don't. At this stage, I'm not saying it's not him, I'm just saying that it hasn't been confirmed, hasn't been clarified. We do not, at this stage, know. And if it was, that just adds to the multitude of things that would prove that Brian Koberger was the world's most stupid fucking criminal, because that would mean that he went and killed somebody in his own car, turned his own phone off, getting caught on camera, leaving a knife sheath behind, leaving a witness behind, and not only that, but he killed someone who he had been stalking online. Maybe that's just how it went down. Time will tell. I'll see you all in the next one.